What's going on? This is Michael Barayev and Eric Christ, and today is, we cannot tell you what day it is today.
Friday.
Monday, Tuesday, it doesn't matter what day it is, but today we're gonna spit fire. And as you guys know, every single week we come at you and we spit fire, we spit the truth and nothing but the truth. That's my boy right there. So today we're gonna talk about the sales habits. What are some good habits that salespeople can have, right? So, what is a habit anyway? Like, what does the word habit mean?
I would say a habit is something that your body and your mind do over and over without having to think about it too much. And it's something that you develop over time. It's something that has to be consistent for it to be a habit. And it's something that I think gets stronger the more you do it. So the more times you do something, the more it becomes habitual, and it just happens automatically.
100%. It's a subconscious action, right? It's a subconscious action where the mind is doing something without you consciously thinking about it. For example, how many of us wake up in the morning and we go to the toilet, right? It's the first thing we do, or we go to the sink, right? Let me know in the comments how many of you guys go to the toilet first or the sink first, right? For example, I go to the toilet, right? Where do you go first, toilet or sink?
I don't ever go to the sink. I just go to the toilet. I go to the sink. I go to the toilet.
You go to the toilet first. Yeah, some people go to the toilet first, some people go to the sink first, but why is that? Because you created a habit. How many of us brush our teeth with our right hand? I guarantee you, if you go today, go brush your teeth before you go to bed and try it with your left hand, I promise you it's going to feel weird because that's what a habit is all about. So in sales, there's some good habits and there's some bad habits that will destroy you in the world of sales, in the world of business. So we're going to talk about some of the good habits so you can focus on creating a successful career in your life. So what are some good habits that you kind of think that will help out some sales guys? Because you've been in sales for quite some years, right? And you've been growing through some pains and going through some good stuff and bad stuff, and you made good mistakes and bad mistakes, and you had ups, you had downs, you have lefts, you had rights. What are some good habits that you think a salesperson should have that will actually help them out in their career?
I mean, I just want to kind of go back for a second before I even answer that. I think you have to be somewhat deliberate in the beginning in what you choose and the decisions and choices that you make. So this way, those habits that get formed are based first off of deliberate, decisions.
100%.
So for instance, to give you an example, working the full day. And this is something we talk about with our guys all the time. A lot of them will put in 80% of the effort all the way up towards the end and then give up. And I think,
agree.
That's something that we constantly push and constantly tell our guys about is, work the full day. Whatever your day is, for us, it happens to be 2 to 9. For a lot of guys, it could be 9 to 5. For some people, it's 12 to 12. It really depends. But you want to make sure you work 100% of your day. And that's something in the beginning you might have to do deliberately. You might have to make a choice. And you do have a choice every day, but after a while, it becomes a habit. So you want to get in the habit of working your full day.
And I want to say something about that. Working a full day, I'll give you an example. Some of you guys that are working in sales, you take out your beautiful cell phone and you're scrolling through Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, LinkedIn, whatever it may be, and you're distracting your mind. You're letting your cousin, your mom, your girlfriend, your ex-girlfriend, which is even worse, to remind you of some bullshit that's been going on in your life. You're not focused on the task. You're not focused on looking for customers. You're not focused on closing the deals. You're letting outside circumstances distract you. So a bad habit that I would say is keeping your phone available for you, right? When I say available, I mean like leaving your TikTok, your Instagram notifications, all that kind of stuff, because throughout the day, there's hundreds and thousands of clicks and notifications that can distract your mind. You want to have a good habit of putting your phone into your pocket and putting it on silent and only pick it up if it's a customer, if it's a follow-up, or if it's some kind of business transaction that you need to create to get and progress your business forward, right? And that's pretty much working a full day because a lot of people think they're working, but they ain't working. TikTok is working. Facebook is working. And there's some apps out there that can tell you and show you how much time you actually spend on Instagram, on
Actually,
YouTube.
it's funny. I woke up and my phone said I was 18 hours less last week on my phone. So I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing.
Hey, it depends,
I guess if
right?
I'm in the field, it's definitely a good thing. And by the way,
Absolutely.
every time I look down at my watch, I do see it go TikTok. So I know exactly what you mean when you say TikTok. So that's what you meant, man.
No, I meant the new platform, baby. The new platform. Follow me on TikTok, baby.
So
if you're an entrepreneur and you love learning about sales and motivation, follow me on TikTok. You're gonna love it.
So let me ask you a
We
question.
do a lot of cool stuff on TikTok.
Maybe we could flip back and forth with the good habits, bad
Yeah, why
habits.
not?
What would you say is a good habit to have?
A great habit is having a great attitude, right? I'll give you an example. Like on Friday, I went out to the field with some of the guys. You know, we're training. We're starting up a new market. We're training. We're moving. We're shaking. And at around 8 o'clock, I was so angry because I was sitting down. There's a few types of customers, right? There's 4 types of customers, which I can actually go over in another video in detail. But there's the buyer, the one that is the follow-up, right? The one that will buy later. You have the tire kicker, and then you have the never, right? So I had a tire kicker, and what a tire kicker basically is that he's literally sitting there talking and wasting my precious time. And I feel it. And I'm like, you know what? A little bit of ego kicked in, a little bit of, I wanted to show the new guy how to do it, like a little bit of both. And I'm like, I gotta close this deal. I was so close. I was 98% there. He just had a big objection about a contract because he was thinking about moving to another country. And if he moved to another country, obviously he would violate his contract and he'd have to pay off the difference that was left on the contract. So he didn't want to do that. And that was like his big thing. And I was like, I'm wasting my time. He's talking about Spain. He's talking about Europe. He's talking about his life. Retired man that has no friends probably. And wasting my breath. And it was called a tire kicker because he was wasting my time. And my attitude got affected. When I finished with him, I left his house. It was 8 o'clock. I'm still at 0. I'm upset. I'm like, what the hell? I just wasted 30, 40 minutes with this fucking guy wasting my time. And I had to quickly catch myself to get myself right, to get my attitude right. And guess what happened 20 minutes later? Boom! I got a sale. Make sense? And the crazy thing is I had a follow-up also that I closed the next day as well. So I got 2 sales out of a day where it was completely very, very challenging for me. Because by 8 o'clock at night, I'm like, what's going on, man? Michael, what's going on with your skill set? Is there something wrong with you? No, it was attitude, right? And as long as you have the right attitude, it's a good habit. The attitude in this game is the most important thing. When you have the right attitude in sales, that is the best habit you can actually...
You know who has an amazing attitude?
Who? Who has an amazing attitude? Fonzie has an amazing attitude, right? But when it comes to attitude, you want to have the best of the best of the best mentality. Because remember, what you think about, you will get. What you think about is what you'll get, right? So I'll give you a couple of bad habits, right? Some bad habits that you don't want to do as a salesperson is wasting time with a customer, okay? Another bad attitude is having party nights the day before you're going to work because it'll mess up your brain. Imagine this. You start smoking some doobies, you start drinking alcohol, and the next day you wake up like shit. And you feel, ugh. And if you
definitely a bad habit.
If you feel like, ugh, how the hell are you going to be productive that day, right? You're clouding your mind, you're clouding your judgment, you're clouding your perception, your reality, and you're messing up. And that's why you're not catching on fire with customers because people can feel your attitude, right? So that's a bad habit. But a good habit also I'll give you is not only working a full day, but constantly thinking about exactly what you want and the outcomes you want. So for example, if you're knocking doors, if you're doing cold calling, if you're doing any kind of business to business leads, anything like that, you want to constantly in the back of your mind, repeat this in your head. I got to sell in the bag. I got to sell in the bag. I'm closing a deal right now. I'm closing a deal right now. I'm closing a deal right now. I got it. I got it. I got it. I got it. Who's got my customer? Who's got my money? Who's got my money? Who's got my money? Where is it? Where is it? I got it right now. I got it right now. Like you're constantly regurgitating this information in your head and it's spinning in your head. And eventually what ends up happening subconsciously, you will attract to those things that you want.
I think related to that, a bad habit is complaining too much. How many times do you hear people just complain? I think that
everybody knows
is a
me.
habit.
I mean, can I be honest with you? A lot of people don't complain to me because they know what's up. I just said, I literally the other day, a couple weeks ago, one of my guys called me and he was starting. We call it Courage the Cowardly Dog, right? So I put it on. I put the phone on. I turn it off speaker and I put it like there.
It's a little hot in here, no? It's a little.
And I just
a little damp in here.
And he's still going. He's still
complaining.
He's still going at it. He's still going at it. I'm like, the elevator music, you know. And okay. You feeling better now? You regurgitated. Okay, thank God you didn't throw up on my brain, right? Because as a salesperson, you want to have the right attitude, like I just told you. And complaining and whining and bitching and moaning is not going to get you anywhere. So when people do that, they don't know. Click. Are you making any money? No. Click. And some people get mad at that, but they need to understand that complaining is a horrible, horrible, horrible habit in sales. Okay? What are some good habits that you think are also, like on point? Like one of the good habits, one of the great habits.
I mean, I would say a good habit is knowing how to budget your money and not wasting it.
Woo!
I think a lot of people, they get a good check and then all of a sudden
they blow it.
It's gone. So, that's a bad habit. But the opposite of that is being able to hold back from spending money just because you have it. And that's something that I had to learn, a few years ago when I had to build my nest egg back up. I was, not
Conservative.
buying the things that I felt
No,
like I
being
needed
smart.
to buy. You know?
Being smart. I mean, this, for example, as in business, you got to invest in your business. Like when it comes to investing, everybody knows I'm in it like that. Like, oh, you need to buy this, boom, I'm buying it. Buy a car, awesome. Buying this, awesome. Buy an office, awesome. Getting a videographer, awesome. Whatever we need to do, awesome. Michael, let's go out and have some fun. I'm good. Let's go hookah. I'm good. Why? Because for me, it's like, why am I going to waste my money on shit that's not going to produce any kind of positive value long term, right? Short term, awesome. I want long term. I want long-term pleasure. I want long-term gains. I want big, juicy ROIs, right? I give you a good habit. Educating yourself. So many salespeople think they know it all. Matter of fact, I've been in sales for my whole life, and I'm still educating myself because I want to get better, crispier, sharper. I want to be sharper than Gillette. I want to be focused, man. I want to be good. I want to go in front of the customer and they say, you're amazing. And they sign the deal. Instead of saying, you're an awesome salesperson. And they say, have a nice day. How many of us had that happen? They say, oh, you're an awesome salesperson. And then you literally say, okay, great, let's sign the deal. Like, no. So you're not an awesome salesperson. If you didn't close that customer, you're not awesome. You just sat there and we call that trick or treating, my friend. Okay, you wasted the time on the phone. You wasted your time speaking to that customer, giving them free, valuable information, and they went and made a sale behind your back because you couldn't close a deal. So educating yourself on how to close a deal, how to study a person, how to analyze their body language is huge, 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 huge. There's a lot of books out there on how to analyze a customer to see if they're bullshitting you or they're telling you the truth. And you can know what to press them here or press them there. It's a skill. It's a science. It's a tactic, and you got to learn it.
I have a great habit. This is one of my favorites. It's learning how to be on time. I think there's so many people that just show up late, and it's one thing if it happens once or twice, but to make a habit out of being late is a real problem. But to make a habit out of always being on time, or to be early, because as they say, being on time, showing up early is on time. Being on time is really late. So you have to get into that habit of showing up early.
And you know what's crazy?
On time.
You know what's crazy? I had a customer. This was 5 years ago. I had a customer who told me to be here at this time. Right? I showed up 4.5 minutes late. I swear to God, 4.5 minutes late. You know what he told me? I'm not doing business with you. I was like, sir, I was done a customer, and that was real. I was really done a customer, but I was like, what's the problem? He's like, you told me you're gonna be here at this time, and you showed up late. I said, sir, it was 4.5 minutes. He's like, I'm not doing business with you. And I never forgot, that was 5 years ago. I was selling cable in New York, and I was like, I'm never gonna show up late. And yesterday when I had a follow-up, guess what time I showed up?
Late.
Nope, 30 minutes early, because I never want to be late for a customer follow-up. Because I remember this, it hurt me like a ton of bricks, because I really needed that sale at the time. And I was so like, the guy was ready, but I came 4.5 minutes late or 5 minutes late, and that ruined everything. So I learned, always show up on time. And we have another video, if you want, maybe you could see here or whatever. So maybe we could put it on for you guys to watch. The 9 reasons why you don't want to be late. Okay?
I have
The 9
a question
reasons.
though.
Yeah, I've got an answer.
What hurts you about a ton of bricks?
Ton of bricks. It's the pain, brother. It's the brick itself.
The brick?
Ow!
Oh, okay. Just making sure.
So listen, guys, there's a lot of good habits. There's a lot of bad habits. Hopefully you guys learned something from this episode today. I hope you guys get some good habits in check, And also, if you have some good habits that you think that us sales guys, us entrepreneurs should have, do me a favor, comment below. Do me a favor, share us with a salesperson or entrepreneur or solopreneur or mompreneur or kidpreneur or any kind of preneur. Share it with them so they can be inspired to motivate themselves to get the job done. Because I know it's not easy being a salesperson. I know it's not easy being an entrepreneur. I know it's not easy, but guess what? It is definitely worth it. So I appreciate you guys. We love you all. As you guys know, every single week we come at you, we spit fire, and we spit the truth. And nothing but the truth. See you later, guys. Have a good one.